You've got till Wednesday to tell Shaftesbury Town Council whether their proposed Mampitts Hub should include off-road parking, which could cost an extra 70 grand, or stick with the current plan for cars to park at 90 degrees to Maple Road, which locals say will increase the risk of accidents as people pull in and out of spaces. Money's tight, though. There's already a challenge finding grants to bridge a £500,000 gap between Section 106 funding, the Town Council's own money, and the overall project costs. The second of two consultation sessions on the parking changes took place on the Green on Sunday, rescheduled after Friday's downpours. I spoke to the chairman of the Advisory Committee, Councillor Greg Williams, and Town Councillor Peter Yeo, who opposes the Town Council's scheme. Peter's Community Land Trust bid for the Section 106 money was unsuccessful, although both his project and the Town Council's plan secured planning permission. It's unclear how much weight the consultation responses will carry, whether a majority view will matter, or if opinions from nearby residents will count more heavily than those from people living elsewhere in Shaftesbury. More about that in a moment. Attendance for the pop-up events has been low, as Greg explained.
I think we've had about a dozen people come along. We'd love to have more. We really want to have as many people engaging in this consultation as possible. It'll be open till Wednesday.
So what kind of survey online response have you had so far, do you know?
I don't know yet.
So do you think people are interested in this?
I think people are interested, but I also do think that people are now wondering, it's been talked about for a long time, when's it going to happen? So I think it's fair to say people are a little bit jaded. They've heard so much talk over years. I mean, I saw on Facebook the other day someone produced a plan from the early 2010s which had the building on the village green, coincidentally. So I think people are looking for us to get on with it, really. And you know, if you look at the comments online as well, there's a lot of comments there like, can the council just get on and deliver this thing? And that's what myself, Jade, Connor and Lester, who are here today, we're all focused on getting on with it.
There are comments that have appeared from people who I've not seen posting before, though. You mentioned the village green, and there seems to be a sense that it's all marked out the size. It is an element of this space is going to be used up by the building.
Yeah.
There is some pushback because I guess people have got used to this open space.
I mean, that's true. I mean, this space has been here for quite a while now. And what we've tried to do is to mark out, and we'll leave the stakes and the tape here for a bit longer so that folk can see exactly how little of the village green is taken up by the building. There's still so much of it available as we're looking at it now. And also with the building location going here, we'll have the cafe in the southern corner, which will open up onto the screen as well. So I think actually when the building goes in place, we'll actually get better use of this space, and it's going to be fantastic. I paced it out with the grounds team a couple of weeks ago, and I did check it again with a tape measure. It is 20 by 10 metres. That's what it is on plan, and that's what we paced out here. It's not going to be high as people think either. There's 2 stories. You're still going to be able to see the tree line behind it. Some people think it's taking up too much of the green, and some folk will have said that it doesn't look big enough, so maybe you can't win.
But the land behind, what's the plan with that? Because again, some people have said put it there, keep the spacing, play cricket, social get-togethers, the church can do things in the summer holidays, and the bit behind, which is a bit of wasteland, that could be better used.
Just to go back to where it is at the moment, it does not take up half of the green, right? There's still so much of the green that is left, and it'll be a great space for families and having coffees and things like that. So I think it is a good use of space. The other reason for having it here is it kind of faces onto the village square, so we'll get more footfall, more people will see it, which is really important. If it were to be tucked away behind the tree line, not as many people are going to see it. And then you also have the issue about managing antisocial behaviour. It is visible here, right? I do think that would make it easier to manage the building in the night time. But look, the location of the hall has been settled, right? Dorset picked the Town Council's proposal. One of the reasons why is because they also think it's a better location here. Come on to your point about what's going on but behind it. So obviously one of the options residents have is if they want to put the car park there. So that's what we've been consulting on. We have this plan at the moment. We've basically got a circular walkway that will go around the green space.
So it's a wasteland green space, if you like, for want of a better phrase.
The front green space is grass, and the back of it is, what I would call spoil. There is little bits of plastic and concrete and stuff there. I did see a plan originally that was going to be used for allotments. There's no chance you'd get allotments in there now because the soil quality is not there. We've had also soil samples, boreholes have been taken, and we're still waiting for the response from that. The lab analysis that will also help, guide what we can actually do, how much planting we can do there. before we have to look at the costs of potentially upgrading the soil. When the people are filling in the survey, there's an option, there's a free text box, so you can put your thoughts in on that. Other option that I have heard from people who've come past is, could we put some sort of multi-use games arena, or a mugger as it's known there. Currently people are playing football in places like Mellersmead. Would it be better to provide a space for people to have a five-a-side game? They are costly. Different grant funding sources are available for sports facilities.
What about the landscaping costs? Because we've learned, obviously, earlier this year that there's not enough money to do what was originally hoped.
I think we're very focused on the car park. There is a cost challenge in terms of what we do with the green space behind the trees, and we need to find something which is affordable, right? That's the other key part of the project. It's got to be affordable.
But at some point, you're going to have to stop doing consultation and just get on with something, aren't you?
We need to continue talking to the community throughout this process, right? There's not a point where the drawbridge comes up and we just go into execution mode and just build the thing. So although we have stopped consulting, if you like, on the location of the building and the interior design of the building, that has been set. It's around the consultation now on what we do around the access in terms of the car parking. I think it's right and proper that once we've squared that away, we then talk to people again about what they want to do with the landscape space.
So the people have come to these two consultations. Have they been in favour of the plan?
People have still got choices on the car park, right? And I'm not going to, forgive me, go on the radio now and say, what the majority of people have said, but the consultation is still open, right?
It's closing in 10 minutes as regards people coming to see you, isn't it?
No, but the online survey is open till at least Wednesday, right? I'm not going to say what I've heard with the majorities in favour of the current car park design or the future design, because we still want to have as many responses as possible on that. There's pros and cons of each. Moving the car park behind the tree line will cost more money. £50,000 to £70,000 is the estimate.
When people have come up, the people who've expressed an opinion, have they been in favour of the Town Council's hall project or against?
The majority are in favour of having a hall. There still are, I think, still a bit of confusion. Dorset have chosen the design, the Town Council's design, which has the hall towards the back of the village green, and we still have to explain to people that has been set now.
Councillor Yeo disagrees, and he maintains that locals prefer his community land trust proposals.
Most of them are under the apprehension that they're going to get the scheme that the residents voted for by petitioning Dorset Council's 720 people, which is for the Mampitts Lane Community Land Trust Scheme, which does not destroy the village green with car parking or planting a two-storey building to block out all the view of the trees and doing nothing intelligent with the main field of this site. So that, sadly, a lot of people that turned up were surprised to hear that that is not what they're getting, and their logic was that they were building over the village green because there was gas, electric and water here. If they'd done any research, they'd know there wasn't. Moving the car park, this exact copy of the residents' Mampitts Lane Community Land Trust car park design, which is putting it on the main field adjacent to Snowdrop Wynd.
The imitation's the best form of flattery. They've copied your idea. You should be happy that was your idea.
Well, what they should do is adopt the whole scheme.
You've given it your best shot in trying to get your group's plans put forward. They're sticking with this. So could you put your energy now into making this as best as it could be? Because they're not going to change their opinions on this.
Well, sadly, they're just not listening. They've had people here the last 2 weeks telling them they don't want their village green destroyed with a two-storey building. They're talking about moving the car park. Well, if they're going to put in a planning application to move the car park, why don't they move their abysmal two-storey building onto the main field as well? There is absolutely no reason why they cannot, in their new planning application, move their hall to the main field.
Although the turnout has been low, Greg says some interesting ideas have been put forward.
Could the CAB, Citizen Advice Bureau, could they do drop-in sessions here as well? People who'd be interested in arts and crafts sessions as well. And I think that's what really motivates us all, is less about whether it's back or in front or behind the tree line. What most people are saying to us and what most interests us as councillors is what we do with the hall.
In terms of delivering then, now you've been able to draw down 10% of the Section 106 money, have you got every expert in place or about to be in place that you need? Because that's the key thing. If you're down on strength we don't have a full-time town clerk at the moment, that's one body down, isn't it? So have you got the people you need to be able to pull that off?
We do. One of our experts here, Robin, our project manager, we've got the grant specialists are appointed. We've got another gentleman who's got more experience working with Dorset Council to try and fill some of that gap, as you say, in terms of senior clerk responsibilities. architect, landscape consultants, a mechanical, structural, quantity surveyor. So now that S106 money, that early drawdown, that 10% has been afforded to us, we can now, all those people are now engaged and we can crack on with the project. I take your point about staffing challenges across the board, but that, we've ring-fenced this project and made sure we've got the people we need to deliver it.
The Town Council's been keen for locals to respond to the online and physical pop-up consultation about moving the car park.
If 51% of respondents say, we like your new model for car park, you're going to go with it. And if 51% are against it, what do you do then?
A very good question. So the consultation results, they'll get sent to the Advisory Committee, Mampitts Advisory Committee, and we'll discuss that at the next Advisory Committee meeting, which will be the second Tuesday in November. We will then make a recommendation informed by residents, and obviously we have residents on the Advisory Committee, but then full council a week later will vote on it. Right, so the Advisory Committee advises, full council decides.
The Town Council might boot out your recommendation. It's happened before, but if the majority of people don't want the car park arrangement, would you think, we've heard what they say, but they've got it wrong? Is it a proper democratic consultation, a numeric first past the post approach?
I don't think it's as simple as that.
But it can be.
Yeah. It also depends on how many responses we get. Right? If we only get 30 responses, 40 responses, I think it's right and proper that councillors bring in their own opinions as well. If we've got 500 responses, then maybe you could argue you could do it first past the post.
Councillor Yeo doesn't believe town councillors from outside the immediate area should be involved in this process.
Greg Williams doesn't live anywhere near here. Most of these councillors don't live anywhere near here.
Councillor Williams revealed that the survey can filter where in Shaftesbury people have responded from due to their postcodes.
Some people don't want to give their addresses, but it does enable us to see where people closer to the hall think about the car park and, inform our thinking accordingly.
So it's kind of waiting, isn't it? If a lot of people from St James put forward a view, that would be of less weight than somebody in the vicinity.
Well, let's not pick on people from St James.
Well, I'm just thinking of some of the far away as you can get from the...
But we do have the ability to, it's not a mathematical equation behind it. When the Advisory Committee see the survey responses, we'll be able to see the postcodes, and it will be possible if the software allows us to plot it on a map.
Councillor Yeo's argument is that this should be for the people of the east of town to have their say. The Town Council approach, certainly the Mayor's approach, is that it's one Shaftesbury. It's all Shaftesbury has a say in a facility that the Town Council, as the representative body for both sides of town, East and West Ward, is representing. So filtering any responses kind of flies in the face of that, doesn't it?
No, all Shaftesbury has a say. Anyone in this town can fill in the survey, because hopefully people from around the town will want to use the hub. I'm not the council, and it'll be up for councillors to act accordingly when they see the feedback and where it's come from.
So, wherever you live in the Shaftesbury Town Council area, you've got until Wednesday to share your views on the proposed changes to the car park arrangements, and you can do that through the